Let's go. All right. So that's dope. That's dope. I think y'all should take that advice, and like I said, once again, if you need any help, you can reach out to us. We here to help. You know what I mean? So, check us out on the website, and then you could do all of that to get any information you need. So, what's next? So let me ask you this, what's next for you in the next
What's
stage of
next
what
for
you got
me?
going on? Yeah,
What's next for me is I want to do something I haven't done in 14 years, and that is to put out 2 books in 1 year. So we dropped the war report earlier this year. It's doing well. We got the audio book coming. Ebook is already out. Paperback is out. John Grisham is showing us love.
for
Kalia
sure,
Ali,
for
the
sure.
extraordinary Kalia Ali, she loves the book. We got some things we're gonna roll out in the next couple of weeks for her for the marketing and promotion.
Right.
But I want to do 2 books in 1 year. The
Are
last
you
time we did that was 2010,
are you trying to pull a
right?
DMX on them?
Trying to pull a DMX once again.
Yeah.
The name of this book is Love Ain't What You Say, It's What You Do.
So for the listeners, what's a little small synopsis of that story?
So so love is an action verb. Love is an action word. A lot of people use the word loosely. I love you. And then there's no action behind it. So
For
to
sure.
me, love is personal. It's a personal word preserved for personal relationships. And in this particular script, though, I have a cast of females who find love during and leading into the pandemic with a cast of characters who are incarcerated, 2 wrongfully convicted, and one, uh, my guy Justice Jones.
Mm.
I don't want to give up the storyline, but
Right.
he's a playboy from Harlem,
Right.
um, and his past catches up with him in the worst way. But it's politics, it's love, it's redemption, all rolled into one. And it's a lot of jewelry in this book, a lot of jewelry about the criminal justice system, the draconian laws. And I use my character, Romello, to really advance some of my fantasy, my ideas, my concerns as it pertains to justice, because we know that the criminal justice system picks on, the poor, the brown,
For
and
sure.
the underprivileged. They bully us, and I use this character as a revolutionary, a modern day revolutionary, and he has a gripe with Black Lives Matter, and he introduces his movement, his nonprofit, Hustlers Lives Matter too. So
Right.
it's a dope script, man. That I stepped out of my box and my comfort zone to compile, compose, and to deliver to my readers and my audience.
That's dope. So that's gonna be out what, like sometime after the summer or
It'll be out the fall
in the fall?
2024.
All
Yep,
right. Y'all be on the lookout for that. We always give out snippets when it's ready, when the time is ready. We give out the samples. Um,
absolutely.
Also, we you know, we got the audio book out. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier in the top, but
iTunes.
it's available on iTunes, Audible, wherever you can get audio books. So that's available now. It's about to be a sale on Audible, so you can go check it out, get it for the low. Make sure
Yeah,
y'all check that out for sure. Um, so
no
what's
doubt.
next? So what's next for the brand?
The brand. Street Generals is the
That's
movement,
right.
man. Y'all already know, man. We be the reflection. The brand next for me after I finish this book, everybody wants me to write another memoir and talk about, what this last 18 months have been like. It's been nothing short of remarkable as far
Right.
as the people who has got involved with this fight and taking on this battle as their own. But I also want to take this crash course on screenwriting and filmmaking, so that we are prepared upon my release to jump right into movies and series.
Yes, for sure. We had plans for that early in the game. I mean, it didn't come to
Yeah.
fruition, but no wine should be served before it's time, right? So,
No wine should be served before it's time. That's a fact.
right. So we gonna get that out, and we're gonna make sure that y'all get the visuals to some of his greatest works. Um, if you could though, I wanna ask you this as a hypothetical. If you could work with anybody, who would it be?
If I could work with anybody, like what, like writing or movies, both? What,
Both.
like
I mean, we got some time, so you could do both. You could do both.
I've worked with a lot of people. I've co-authored. I've written books with people. If I want to work with a female, I want to write a book with a female. Um, I want, I've tried to deliver the perspective of a female, but only a female can deliver the perspective of a female.
True.
I love women. So I would like to work with a female as far as just doing like a novel, maybe like an erotic novel or a romance novel. As far as film and TV, I would like to work with Manny Haley is
Mhm.
giving out opportunities right now to turn, classical street fiction into movies. 50 is doing remarkable things. I
Right.
like to work with Fifth.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is, he don't took over BET.
For sure.
I would
Yeah.
like to work with him,
Yeah.
and the list goes on. Opportunity is only as great as the timing.
And I
So
think that'll be dope. You working with another author, you know, like something like two rappers in a studio, like feeding off of each other. I think that'll be
right,
dope. I think that'll be dope for
right.
sure.
When we did the Ungodly Pastor, I wrote that with somebody.
Right.
We co-wrote that together.
Right.
Um, so yeah, but I would like to work with a female writer, female writers that's out there that got a great story. We got the machine already rolling. Let's get
Right.
it, man.
For sure. For sure. Well, that's the end of the questions and then and the end of the episode. But we got something special for y'all again at the end of this. Uh, tell them what you want to do. But as far as the
I want y'all to check out this motherfucking war report. I want y'all to check out the war report. I'm gonna give y'all the first couple chapters, man.
right,
Shout out to Days. Days did a remarkable job
for
recording
sure,
this book for me.
for sure,
She's dope. We're gonna work together again very, very soon.
for sure.
Um, and I think y'all gonna love it. This is a real suspenseful crime novel, about emerging adults, loving on each other, trying to protect each other in a
Right,
cold, cold world.
for sure.
So check it out. Enjoy yourself. Hit the website, TysheemCrocker.com.
Right,
Check out the pages.
right,
Support, like shit. Don't just be looking from behind the
right.
scenes. Go ahead and like something, man. Ain't nothing wrong with,
No, it don't it
I'm
don't
cool.
cost anything.
All right, I'm cool to like now. Jason
Right,
said I'm cool to like. You know what I
right,
mean? You ain't gotta be
right,
scared to like me. You know what
right,
I
right.
mean?
For
So,
sure. Well, that's it. We signing out. General Thoughts Podcast. Make sure y'all check us out on YouTube, Audible. Soon we're gonna be on Spotify. We're working everything out. But for now, check us out on YouTube.
YouTube is Street Generals TV.
Eat.
Chapter 1, June 1999. From the start of one summer to the next, nearly 12 months and counting, Marissa Hall would watch from her perched position in her 175th Street and McCombs Road bedroom window as Warren Ward Smith regulated shit with an iron fist. His name was buzzing in the town, and he was living that gangsta lifestyle for real. His muscles were barely there, but he had a knuckle game, and his mind was super advanced. The 21-year-old's presence excluded strength, West Bronx flowing through his veins, not a chink in his armor. Some accredited the bravado to his rough upbringing, being adopted and all, while others just saw a villain they could root for. Local DJs were shouting him out on their mixtapes, rappers were inviting him to their video shoots, and girls fawned over him. He wasn't flashy, wasn't loud like his brother Crumb, but wore the Walls family name like no one else. Marissa knew all this because she was popular too, for her knack for dance and being Ira's daughter. She craved her own shine, her own stardom, and in order to acquire that, she felt she needed to team up with a dude like War. They had never crossed paths, and the universe kept it like that for its own reasons. Marissa and War's initial interaction was a thing of chance. She guessed the universe was accommodating those interests in their soul's progression. It was pitch black out, summer night, street lamps the only source of light, and Marissa had been returning home from an errand. In her arms was some groceries for the night's supper, along with Newports for her mother and a pint of strawberry ice cream for her dessert. She had a sweet tooth, but because she had braces, she stayed away from the candy. Taking her time, she entered the building, then the stairwell. On her way down, there was urine in the elevator. Unbeknownst to her, 2 men were in the stairway, one with a gun, the other lifeless. "Oh shit, fuck, sorry," were the words that escaped her paralyzed body. Things were falling from her bag as her limbs suddenly trembled. "Really, I'm sorry, War." She turned her focus to the pale paint on the wall, letting out, "I didn't see anything." Never blowing his cool, War took the murder weapon and scooped up the fallen items. Stuffing them back in the brown paper bag, he said, "You're Ira's daughter?" Still unable to make eye contact, Marissa said, "Ira is my mom. Yes." In manly circles, average players to hood celebrities, Marissa had been the talk of the neighborhood. She was easily identifiable by her eyes, smile, and braces. But there was so much more that made men want to bed that young lady. "You look just like Ira before that crack wave," War said, then disappeared. 7 years prior, a streak of unfortunate events led Ira Hall to drugs as a reprieve. She'd been smoking for almost 8 years now. Marissa hated it, but the love and respect would never go. And she still thought her mom was gorgeous, just as men once did. With the paper bag in her arms, Marissa floated up the stairs and didn't take a sigh of relief until she was sitting at the kitchen table. It felt like her heart would burst from her bosom if she didn't calm her nerves. Ira, Marissa's 32-year-old mother, saw her leg bouncing uncontrollably and asked, "What's wrong with you?" A thin coat of perspiration covered Marissa's forehead. She said, "Can you back up, please?" She was now hyperventilating and unfastening her jeans. Ira went in the bag on the table, got her cigarettes, and just as she was lighting one, she could hear the police sirens getting closer and closer to her residence by the second. They were racing to the deadly McCombs Road. Something must have happened again. I hear a lot of police. When I get back on my feet, we out of here. The idea of preparing dinner had become an afterthought. Marissa grabbed her pint of ice cream and took her seat on the windowsill overlooking the infamous McCombs Road. This was the late 90s, and not yet a surveillance utopia it would become, so it took a while before homicide made its appearance. Marissa noticed 2 suits pull up exuding importance. They approached onlookers, but no one was talking. The beginnings of the stonewalling, a normal practice. There were so many unsolved murders in the neighborhood, but this one was ugly and was going to receive mass attention because the guy who got hit was an informant, scheduled to go before a grand jury in the coming days. Spooning her pint and feeding her sweet tooth, Marissa watched as the 2 suits entered her building, which the cops had already taped off as a crime scene. Her heart jumped from her chest when she heard the doorbell ring. Immediately after, a fist pounded the door. "Open up!" she heard as she advanced towards the peephole. "No!" Marissa soaked while fastening the top 2 buttons on her skin-tight baby fat jeans. She tucked the bottom of her baby fat tee into her jeans, then sighed. She could barely fit her 162 pounds into her clothes, and not because she wasn't in athlete shape. NYPD, open up! Detective Kelly? She sulked. There were stories floating through the hood that he tortured and tormented people, that he had a cabin in the woods where he got confessions from people who refused to cooperate. We have a few questions, Marissa heard him say. Thinking it was something she had done, shoplifting maybe, Ira raced to the door, moving Marissa out of the way. She had just smoked a piece of crack that looked real buttery, so she was schizophrenic. Her lips were quivering. She wasn't smoking crack on a regular basis, but she was in deeper than the occasional smoker. That's detectives, Marissa said, covering her mouth, preferring for the meantime her mother think they were there for her. I hear them. I've been heard them. But I'm trying to find out why they at my door. Marissa shot back to her bedroom, shut the door, and turned her stereo up. She could not tell anyone what she saw. War would kill her. Is your daughter home? Detective Kelly asked as soon as the door opened. Even with the music playing above a respectful volume, Marissa, with her keen hearing, could hear her mother saying, My daughter is still a minor. If you want to talk to her, you have to talk to me first. I believe that is law. Detective Kelly laughed. Is this woman quoting the law? He quipped, standing sternly. Yes, and I want to see some identification. During their initial interview, someone informed the police that Marissa had been traveling from the bodega and may have some information. Marissa hadn't witnessed the murder. The guy was already gone. First-class trip to heaven. So Marissa quickly dispelled that with, I took the elevator, and all I know is someone pissed in there. Yucky. Neither of the detectives had reasons to find her incredible. With her braces and bright eyes, she looked innocent. Those pale gray eyes, the long, fine, and dark, shiny hair, that yellow skin. Detective Kelly was not impressed the least. Her name hadn't come up for no reason. A business card was placed in Ira's hand, and then a thank you for your time followed. Behind closed doors, Ira said, Why would some motherfucking body be saying my daughter saw something? In her 5'7" stance, mischievous smirk taking form on her face, and one hand on her shapely hip. Marissa said, Because I did.